Hi, everybody. My name's Maddy, and as a future counselor, I know that there's obviously going to be situations where my personal values may conflict with those of my clients. An area that I've discussed previously in this class is the challenge of working with strictly Catholic or deeply religious clients. I've had personal trauma experience growing up in a strict Catholic household. It's an area where I'll need to be very mindful during my practices. Corey, and Corey talk about the importance of recognizing these conflicts and using supervision and consultation to address them. It's not going to be my job to impose my beliefs onto a client, whether I agree with their beliefs or not. The ACA Code of Ethics makes it clear in Standard A.4b, counselors must avoid imposing their personal values on clients. This is particularly relevant when clients' goals and values do not align with the counselor's. If I'm working with a Catholic client who strongly believes in prayer as the only form of healing, I need to respect that and be able to find a way that I can work within their belief system with them. I'm not there to change their mind. I'm there to empower them to find their own path and their own way of healing. The Colorado State Board of Licensed Professional Counselor Examiners rules reinforce the importance of maintaining client autonomy in therapy as stated under the Colorado Statute 12-45-224. It outlines the standards of professional conduct, and as a counselor in Colorado, I'll need to practice within these guidelines, ensuring that my clients' rights and values are respected regardless of my personal beliefs or views. I think another area that I anticipate some challenge in will be with severely traumatized children. I currently have experience working with trauma-informed care in that environment and with traumatized children and adults. I'm a registered behavior technician. I don't have experience yet working one-on-one with children in a therapeutic session discussing their trauma histories, and I think that is an area where I'll need to be careful about managing my own emotions. I'm a very nurturing person naturally, and when I see children who lack stability or support, I instinctively want to protect them. Corey, and Corey stress that effective counseling isn't about fixing the client's life or acting as a parental figure, though. Instead, it's about guiding clients to discover their resilience and coping strategies, and I think that's really important for especially even to bring back into the role that I'm working on now and as a registered behavior technician, to be able to think, wow, me pulling up a diaper for a kid when others aren't, I see how much that can affect my clients and then across the board affect everybody. It's very interesting. According to the standard A.1a of the ACA Code of Ethics, the counselor's primary responsibility is to protect the dignity and promote the client's welfare. That means maintaining appropriate boundaries and avoiding any actions that can be misinterpreted or create a dual relationship. So here in Colorado, under Statute 12-245-222, it outlines the prohibition against unprofessional conduct, including the exploitation of therapist-client relationship. Giving gifts, no matter how well-intentioned, could blur the lines between professional and personal boundaries, potentially harming the therapeutic relationship. I believe I read somewhere that a counselor can receive a gift of $5 in Colorado from a client, but I think I would just stray away from that. Even at my center, we aren't allowed to accept gifts. The most I can get is my one kid made me little with some initials. It's just a little thing, and then I got a little key ring. But that's from crafts we make with them. Another concern that I think about quite often is clients who might perceive me as very privileged and unable to relate to their experiences. I'm pretty involved in the LGBTQIA plus community. I'm very passionate about advocacy in the community, and I understand that my appearance as a cisgender white woman could make some clients hesitant to trust me or open up. The ACA Code of Ethics Standard E.5b discusses the importance of cultural competence and respect for diversity. It's critical that I create an environment where clients feel understood and accepted regardless of their background or identity. And I would always strive for that no matter what. I strive for that in my day-to-day, but I really think that working with LGBTQIA plus youth or adults, I think at first glance, I'm a blonde female, and they're going to be like, I worry that they might prejudge and look at me and say, oh, she doesn't really know what she's doing. But I'm going to learn throughout my time at Bellevue to get over those stereotypes and kind of just go with the flow and figure it out as I go and seek guidance when I need it. In Colorado, Statute 24-34-601 of the Colorado Anti-Discrimination Act, or the CADA, also protects individuals from discrimination based on race, gender, sexual orientation, and other protected classes in public accommodations, which includes mental health services. As a counselor, I need to ensure that my practice is inclusive and that I'm providing culturally competent care. This means me taking the time to understand each client's unique experiences and knowing how my identity may impact the counseling dynamic. I need to make sure that I'm not acting on the stereotypes that I've perceived will be portrayed about me. So for example, a good example I had was if a young LGBTQIA plus youth client comes to me feeling hesitant because they were to assume I wouldn't understand their struggles, I need to make sure that I'm intentional about building trust from the start. Corey remind us that first impressions really matter, especially in counseling. So I would want to approach the situation with like extreme openness and transparency. Maybe saying something along the lines of, I know we come from different backgrounds, but I'm here to listen and support you however you need. I'm here for you. If you kind of open up and build it and start the relationship by building it on trust, and then you show that you can keep that trust, I think that starting that early on with clients is like key to having clients be able to open up feeling safe with you. The ACA Code of Ethics Standard A.11b talks about managing personal values and ensuring that counselors seek supervision when their values conflict with the client's needs. This is where supervision will play a critical role for me when I'm struggling internally with a client's values, whether it's religious beliefs or something else. I need to make sure that I'm seeking out the supervision to process those feelings, because bottling that up and keeping that inside of me is just going to bring that into my other sessions, not just with the client that I'm having personal issues navigating, but other clients as well. Referring a client because a value conflicts should be a last resort. That's not what I'm here to do. I think I've mentioned before, referring a client. The main reason I would only ever want to refer a client is if I knew a therapist that specialized in BPD more than I did. I wouldn't want to push away a client and make them feel isolated, unwanted, and create more trauma through that. Corey emphasized that referring a client because of value conflict should be a last resort and only be considered after exploring all of their options. In Colorado, Statute 12245-224 Also requires that counselors provide an adequate referrals only when necessary and ensure that referrals do not harm the client. If I were to refer a client simply because I didn't agree with their religious views, like I said before, this is in violation with a client's autonomy, and potentially harmful to their therapeutic process. Referrals should only be made when it's clear that another provider would better meet the client's needs, not because of a personal value conflict. All in all, navigating value conflicts in counseling is challenging, but it's going to be essential for providing ethical care to our clients. Whether it's my personal history with Catholicism, my work with traumatized children, or concerns about cultural differences with my clients, I need to be able to ensure that I'm putting my clients' needs first. This means seeking supervision when needed, maintaining appropriate boundaries, and respecting each client's unique value system. As Corey, and the ACA Code of Ethics emphasize, counseling is about helping clients discover their own resources and empowering them to make decisions that align with their own values, not mine.